Hey guys, and as part of today's video, we'll focus on learning another offering from AWS, that is CloudFormation and its uses. So let's start with the problem statement. So me being a DevOps admin person whose responsibility is to maintain the AWS infrastructure on behalf of the project team, okay, I might come across few problems, in future, right? So the first problem could be, let's say in the past, I have provisioned a development environment in AWS and I want to create a similar environment with higher configuration to execute my performance test cases for the application. And the ask is to set up as soon as possible. So the question is that, okay, how can I get some help, or is there anywhere, I can refer whatever I have done in the past? Second problem statement could be, while provisioning performance environment, I came across some configuration issues and troubleshooting is taking a lot of time. Though I have done similar work in the past, I'm still stuck and needs some kind of help. So is there any way I can refer um, any architecture or any blueprint, which I have done in the past? Third problem could be, I'm nearing my project closure and I have to decommission the lower environments like dev environment, test environment, but I may be asked to set up similar infrastructure on AWS in my next engagement. Is there any way I can save the environment details so that it becomes easy for me to stand up the environment in future? The fourth problem could be, is there any way I can find out what changes I have done to my AWS environment over the last 3 4 months, in the sense, is there any way I can get a audit trail of my AWS environment details? So these are the typical problems that we generally face, in the for a DevOps guy, who faces these problems on a day-to-day activities. So that is where CloudFormation comes into picture. So CloudFormation is the service, which addresses all these problem statements. So what it is? So it is an easy way to create and manage a collection of AWS resources. It allows orderly and predictable provisioning and updating of resources. It allows you to version control your AWS infrastructure in the sense, let's say my environment has gone through a lot of changes. So if at all I want to go back to some earlier version, it helps. Also, it deploys and update stacks using console, command line, or API. So you can stand up your infrastructure, through your console or through some API call or through your command line interface. And the most important part is that there is no extra cost associated towards maintaining a cloud formation, blueprint. It is declarative and flexible and can be customizable via parameters. So let's understand what are the different components of your cloud formation. So first is a template. Okay, a template is a declaration of the AWS resources that make up a stack. So this template will be having the details around what are the resources, what are the AWS resources that you need. You probably need a EC2 resource, or you probably need a S3 resource, or you need a RDS resource, whatever, right? So all those details will be captured in this template, which will make up a stack. So template, in other words, can be defined as a blueprint that defines your infrastructure and application resources, and it is comprises of either JSON or YAML file. And similarly, we have stack. Okay, stack is a runtime component which, when executed by CloudFormation, will provision the resources outlined in your template. If you want to manage your AWS resources as a single unit, Then stack can help you in creation, updation, or deletion. So if you see the structure of a template is very simple. There are four main components. You can have four main sections, as you can see in this screen. We have description, which describes what is this template is for. We have parameters, we have resources, and we have outputs, right? So these are the four main sections. Apart from that, also you have some additional sections that you can include. So let's understand these sections, in little more detail. So this is a typical cloud formation template, wherein I have description, parameters, resources, and outputs. So if you see under parameters, I have something called as key pair. That is, you have to pass the key pair. So assume that, okay, you are trying to provision a EC2 resource, okay, or a EC2 instance. In that case, it is requires to you probably have to give the EC, the key pair also, okay. So this is a input that cloud formation template will expect from the individual, okay, in terms of while standing up the EC2 instance. Next is resources. Okay, so under resources, as I was telling you, let's say you wanted to stand up a EC2 instance, and what is the image type, what is the instance type. Okay, all those details will be captured under this resources section. Now outputs is once, let's say, cloud formation is able to provision the infrastructure you want to see, you want to print some values, in terms of, let's say, my EC2 instance, if it is created, then what is the instance ID, right? So those things can be captured, under the outputs section. So what we'll do is that, okay, we'll see a demo how it works. So I'm inside my AWS console, and you can very well go to your cloud formation services by clicking on this. So as soon as you click, it will take you to this page, and here you can see it will ask you to create a stack. So I click on this button. Now one good thing that AWS has is that, okay, it helps you in creating stacks, as soon as possible, or very quickly, right? Because there are some predefined templates, which are already available, which we can use, okay. So, and or you have a option to create your template um, by yourself, right? So let's do one thing. Let's go to this template designer and see what is there. Now this is you can see here, I'm in this screen, wherein I have this the parameters, the mappings, conditions, metadata, and all those things, okay. And on my left hand side, I have the various AWS resources, right? And this is my panel, wherein I can do some drag and drop. Okay, assume that, okay, I want to stand up, a EC2 instance, right? Okay, so in that case, what I have to do is that I have to click on this EC under EC2. If you scroll down further, you'll find instance. You just have to drag and drop here. So as soon as you drag and drop here, it will create some, or it will generate some code, which will be added under any of these things, right? Okay. So here, if you see, it has added something under the properties, okay, and under metadata, under creation policy, under deletion policy, and depends on conditions, all these things will be added here, right? Okay. Now you might want to fill all these sections one by one, okay? Or there is an option here called templates, okay? So if you go to templates, this is also automatically created. So this much of JSON code has been or JSON script has is already being added here as soon as I drag and drop this EC2 instance here. And if at all I want to see the YML version of this component, I just click here and you can see that okay, the YML version of this EC2 instance is highlighted here, right? So this is very handy here. I can do component wise. As I was saying, we have properties, metadata, and all those things, and so all those things can be added separately, or you can copy the entire JSON file or copy the entire YAML file and put it here, right? So there are multiple ways, okay, to do this. So this is very much handy, when you want to stand up something from scratch. You might want to drag it, drag and drop some resources into this designer panel, okay, and behind the scene, it is going to generate this code, right? So what we are going to do is that for the demo purpose, let's use some existing templates, which AWS provides. Okay, I'll go to this create stack again, and I'll click on this use a sample template. And here, you have the option to see some samples, right? Okay, you can click here. So as soon as I open that sample templates, it will take me to this screen, and I click on the sample templates, let's say. It will take me to another screen wherein I can browse, the already existing templates. So let's say I want to stand up, say, EC2 instance. I'll click on this link, and here you can see there are quite a lot of options available. Let's say, here I want to say Amazon EC2 instance with an elastic IP address is something which I want to do. If I want to see it in the designer, okay, I can click on this view in designer just to see how it looks like. Yeah. So this is what, let's say I want to do stand up, right, in my AWS infrastructure. And so the code is already here, as you can see here. The code is all available here. Let me just quickly take you through what is this code. Okay. Let me copy this content, Okay, fine. So here, you have these parameters, where in the parameters, it is asking you what is the instance type that you wanted to choose. Okay, that is T, and T2 dot small is the default option. Okay, and you have these many options, which will be appearing in the drop down, right? So, and it will also ask you to enter the key name. Okay, then it is saying that okay, you probably have to have all these entries here. There is a different section called mappings. Okay, so mappings will have, it will tell you that okay, for T2 dot micro or T1 dot micro, you probably have to use, okay, what is the image. Okay, so these are all defined here. HMV64 is something which will be defined downwards. Okay, as you can see here, right? Yeah. So this is the image ID for HMV4 is this one, right? So as soon as I say that okay, you launch my EC2 instance, and instance type is, let's say, T2.micro, okay, and it is going to pick up this instance, so this is how it is being structured, and it is associating a security group, as you can see here, and then it is associating a elastic IP address. Okay, so let's do one thing. So now if at I want to launch this stack, okay, in my AWS, okay, what I'm going to do is that I have to just click on this button. This is my create stack option. Once I do this, oh shit, it is okay, and it will take me to this page. I'll click on create next. Okay, you have to give some name to your stack. Okay, let's say my first EC2 stack. And as you can see, these are the parameters, which it will prompt you. Okay, so you have to select, okay, which one you want to do. Okay, so t2.small is the default one, but I can also change it to t2.nano, let's say. Okay, and what is the key name? The key pair name that if you have already a key pair, that you need to select. In my case, there is nothing available. So in that case, I probably have to create one more key pair, right? So let me quickly do that. Okay. So I have created a key pair, so now my key pair is test underscore KP. I select this option and this one I'll make it to t2.micro and this one let it be like this. I'll just click on next. Okay, I have to give some name on my first EC2 stack. Click on next. I'll keep these options default. I'll go ahead and yeah. So the whatever parameters I have selected, it is displaying here. And I'll say create stack. So it will take some time, and the status will also keep on getting refreshed, as you can see if I click on this. So now as you can see, it took some time to create the entire stack. Okay, and now my EC2 instance is also is created. Then there is this um the elastic IP address is also getting created and it is getting associated. Okay, and the status is showing as create complete, right? And if I go to the output section, it will tell me what is all being created. Okay, so I have a instance that is created, whose IP address is this one. Okay, what is the instance ID? Okay, all these things, right? And what are the parameters that we had passed? We had passed these parameters, right? Then we have this template. Okay, the template that was used to launch this, EC2 instance. Then change, so here, you have the option of, as I was saying, you can maintain a version of your um, entire stack, by clicking on this update option if at all you want to do some changes to your stack. Okay, and yeah, and change sets, it will display, if at all you had done some changes over the last 3 or 4 months, and then it will display those changes here, right? So this is how you create, and we'll do one thing. We'll quickly see whether my EC2 instance has been created or not. Okay, let me go there. Let me see there. Yeah, as you can see, one EC2 instance is already being created. And as you can see, we have created a elastic IP address and it is associated to this EC2 instance. So now Now, the one of the beauty is that okay, if your project is nearing ending, okay, so you might want to decommission the entire infrastructure. In that case, you just have to click on this delete option, which will take care of deleting all the resources and its associations. You don't have to go manually delete one by one, right? So we can try this option. Let's see how it works. So the deletion is in progress. Yeah, as you can see, the deletion is in progress. So now as you can see, the deletion is complete, and I can quickly check if the EC2 instance is there or not. All right, let me just refresh this. Yeah, so it is also terminated, right? So this is how you create a cloud formation template. It is very handy, okay, in terms of maintaining your AWS infrastructure. So that's about cloud formation. Really nice feature, easy to use and easy to get started. If you have any questions, then put them in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because I have a lot of videos coming up for you. I would like to say thank you for watching, and we'll catch up in the next video. Thank you.